Hello, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to Heavenly Sent People You Should Know. As you guys know, and if the ones that don't know, my name is Cynthia, and I am the CEO and founder of Heavenly Sent Youth, which is an enrichment mentoring program. And so, got a pamphlet. And so, just to tell you a little bit about, for the new people, the things that we do, we cater to youth ages 8 to 15 in underserved areas. Our program offers training in essential life skills, health and fitness, leadership, problem solving, decision making, conflict and resolution, and business etiquette. Our goal is to support and guide these young children towards a brighter future by providing them with the knowledge and resources they need to thrive. And so you guys know that I typically have a guest, but today I am alone. Earlier I did an interview with Toys for Tots, which is an amazing program. You guys know who they are. They are a biker organization that have been around for many moons. And so I have let's see. And so what they do is they put smiles on kids' faces. Every year they distribute toys to underserved and to anybody in need, not necessarily underserved, to anyone that's going through something, having a crisis, or just want to impact or put a smile on a kid's face. You can reach out to them and they would be more than happy to assist in that. And so I thank Imani for giving them a heads up in regards to what I do. I met them last season and we kind of lost, we lost the chain or whatever. And so when she gave me the card, I called Lester, and so he remembered who I was right away. And so I was happy to come on and talk to them about the things that I'm doing with Heavenly Sent Youth and how we can partner. So after this show, I'm actually going to the meeting that they're having on Northside to just network like I typically do. And so even with that being said, a lot of times people don't realize the importance of networking. You know, I always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And so for me, I don't mind volunteering and showing myself worthy and being supportive to other people, because guess what? We all got a turn. So at some point, when your turn comes, you want the same support. But a closed hand, nothing comes in. So you guys have to get out here and network and volunteer and be consistent and show people that you're sincere about what it is you're doing. Other than that, you'll just be doing what you're doing. So I've been doing the Heavenly Sent Youth programming for about 5 years, but I've been dealing with kids for probably 15 or so years. I started being a youth director at a church, and so the impact I had on the kids, and so I realized this calling long ago. And so as I got older, I realized the importance of having a positive role model, and like what Lester said, a superhero in the kids' lives, because, you know, not often kids get to experience different things for whatever reason. Parents working 4 or 5 jobs trying to make ends meet or don't have the resources. And so I just thank God for giving me this vision and allowing me to just manifest it with his help and resources and volunteers and all the people that support me. And so we've done so many amazing things. You know, when I look back, I just, you know, I'm just so thankful because, wow, doors have been opened for me like never before. In my corner, you guys see me on there bottle feeding a goat. Bottle feeding a goat? Who does that, right? Me. And then in the background, you guys see me with the horse. And so, it's been a tremendous journey. And if I can give advice to anybody, I would tell people to just follow your dreams. Don't worry about the naysayers. And, the people that wants to support you will definitely come. The Lord will send them to you. And so you guys just have to be, keep your feet on the battlefield and just move. And so I got so many awesome things coming up next month. So like I said, Toys for Tots I've partnered with them, and I'm excited about the partnership with them because, again, like I mentioned, they've been a blessing to so many for so many years. I'm starting a male mentoring program at the Douglas Park Library. And this particular program will be geared towards the male. And people say, hey, why you just, targeting the males? Because, you have to take care of home first, right? So I have a male child, and so it's imperative that I, at his age, 15 years old, he'll be 16 in another about 4 or 5 days. And so it's important for me to direct him and put him around positive and even provide mentoring for him, right? Because we know these boys could be doing anything, or just kids can be doing anything. So I want to start with mine. And so that's why I decided to do a youth male mentoring program. Now, if anybody out there want to do anything for the girls, please give me a call and I will help out in any capacity that I possibly can. And so with that being said, I'm going to target age 8 to 15 years old. And this will be every first and third Saturday of the month. So November and December. And so January, I expect a bigger blessing. I expect to have a facility next year. And so for now, we're doing, we're appreciative of the space that we have been allowed it to do this programming. So much so, we did it, I think, the earlier part of the year. And so the impact was great. The young men and the mentors enjoyed so much so that the librarian at the not the librarian, she is the overseer of the library. So whatever you call that person. I don't know the proper term for that, but she's awesome, and she called me back and wanted me to bring the program back. So sign up your children. You guys can find me on, I think it's Facebook at Heavenly Cynt Youth, and so all the information is there. It's a free program, age 8 to 15, and we're just doing life skills, things like, let's see, what do we have? Dealing with emotions, social media awareness, because, all these kids are on social media, and that's how trafficking could possibly start. And, just a slew of things could start from being on social media. So, we want to bring awareness to social media, playing video games, be mindful of putting your information, personal information, your address and things like that, because there are some people out there that are behind the screen posing as, who knows, kids, adults, men, women, whatever. So we want the kids to be mindful of that. Table etiquette. So we did a course on table etiquette the earlier part of the year, and so we realized that a lot of our kids couldn't or didn't know how to eat with the proper utensils. And so I was able to take part in a job course that I was working at a catering company. And so I know the proper utensils to use and the setup. And so I was happy to present that to the kids. So we did that. And so also I partnered with a guy who had a shared kitchen. He's a chef. And I was telling him that I wanted to do a small cooking class with the boys. And so he's like, okay, cool, no problem, let's do it. And so with this shared kitchen, we went out there, and the kids, the boys, he took them to the store. We went to the store, and he allowed them to pick out, they wanted to make a pizza. And so he allowed them to pick out the ingredients, if they wanted pepperoni or sausage or whatever they wanted, what kind of cheese. We did the dough. And so I have a pamphlet with a picture of that in, so that was cool. And he taught them the temperature, and it was just an amazing session that the boys took part in. So I'm very grateful of that. Let's see what else. We was blessed with some tickets to the Bulls game, and I think on this picture about 10 or 12 male mentors that went out with us. And we had a great time with that. And, there's so many things that we do. Let's see. We do any and everything you could think of. How about that? There isn't anything in particular that we honestly haven't tapped on outside of swimming. And that's because I have a phobia of large bodies of water. But I won't let that stop us. So I'm going to get some lifeguards or some people that know how to swim in our circle, so we can start taking part in that during the summer months. And so, yeah, we deal with animals. You know, I'm very grateful and thankful to the partners that I have that allow us to go on their barns and, you know, deal with the animals. And we were gifted a mobile home, and so we do rodeos, and, you know, we just have a great time. What else on my list? Oh, another thing, I want to talk about that. So also, I am a licensed CPR instructor, right? And so being a licensed CPR instructor, I'm always looking for other life-saving skills that I can add to the toolbox. And so bloodborne pathogens. And so a lot of times, whether you are a barber or a tattoo artist or whomever, you need to know about bloodborne pathogens. You need to know how to, in the event that your client is bleeding, you need to know how to, you know, take care of that, you know, how to make it make sense, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. And so stop the bleed. Stop the bleed is so important, and so many people, I don't think, are knowledgeable on how that one tourniquet could possibly help an individual. Case in point, there was a mass shooting on the west side of Chicago, right? And so I think 15 people were injured, maybe 12 people were hit. And so I thank God that I knew some of the guys that had got hit, and I thank God that everybody survived. And I did hear that there's 2 in critical, so we're praying that they come up out of that and things be back to normal. So with that being said, I was looking at a video, and so in the video, you know, people were down, and people were trying to, was hovering over people. And so I will say this, I'm not what do you call it? I'm not a medical professor or a medical whatever you want to call it, but I do have common sense. And so I understand that you have to act, again, with my CPR training, I am knowledgeable on some things. And so with that being said, I do understand when an individual is down, you can't move them, right? And so often, you know, you see people down, people trying to pick them up, people trying to move them. The blood is protruding, everybody's crying, everybody's upset. And then especially when there's more than one person hit. So now people are waiting for the ambulance, right? And so with the ambulance coming, the ambulance can only tend to one person, maybe 2 people at the most. So now what? You got everybody else, you know, trying to get help, or, you know, all distraught, discombobulated. So stop the bleed is a course, I didn't even say a course, is a process that encourages bystanders to become trained and equipped with, to be equipped with helping in a bleeding emergency before professional help arrives. Again, I'm gonna say that. Stop the bleed is a process to where it's anybody. You don't have to have any medical experience. You don't have to have any certifications. It's just an act that you can do to help the victim in the event that the paramedics aren't arriving as fast as we think we should. So there is something that we can do if there's blood protruding. And so the device is called a tourniquet. And so as I was saying in that video, I seen the police applying a tourniquet to one of the victim's leg. And I was like, oh, wow, I've never seen it on video. And so for me to see it on a video in an emergency, you know, I was like, wow, that's what's up. So with that being said, stop the bleed again. Excuse me. I've been drinking pop. I don't even drink pop. I shouldn't have had pop, so I've been belching. But stop the bleed. In the event that somebody is protruding blood, you're outside, maybe an accident or a gunshot victim or whomever. And so a tourniquet, and even if you don't have a tourniquet, it's like a strap that you put on with like this little stick looking thing that you tie it to stop the, to try to put pressure on the surrounding wound, not on the wound, but the surrounding wound, above it, up under it, to possibly to squeeze the skin to stop the bleed, right? And so I encourage you guys to go online and look at that process, because we just never know when we may need to act. And like I said, an event and something like that, 12 people, only the ambulance can only take care of 2 people. So instead of trying to get the people up, we want to act fast. If you don't have a tourniquet, you can use anything. You can use some tape. You can use a T-shirt. I mean, whatever you got that you can tie on the victim's, tie together on the victim's body above the wound to possibly stop the blood from protruding. You could possibly save a life until help arrives. So again, that stopped the bleed. I was really excited to hear about that. And so, just with all that's happening, I think that we should try to get whatever skills that we can. Very, very much reason why I'm instilling this stuff in the youth at such an early age, because if you have it, when you get it young, you'll keep it when you get old. And so we wouldn't be sitting here trying to figure out things, because we've been exposed to these things as a youth. And so also, like I mentioned, CPR. I remember there was this story on the news where this young guy, he was on a train and somebody, I think, fell over on the track, or however, he jumped on the track, saved the young man's life, and, he was given these accolades. And I think I just read where the fire department are hiring him on as an EMT just because of his brave act. And so again, like I said, it could be anybody. It could be you, it can be your mother, your brother, it can even happen in your own home. So when you have the essential skills, a lot of times we don't think about this stuff until something happens. So my mind is always in overload. And so I'm always trying to find something different to expose my son to, or a type of skill that I think he should know, or just teaching him whatever I possibly can. A lot of stuff isn't taught in school. Like I mentioned earlier, cursive writing. Cursive writing have been long taken out of school, and we all know as adults, you have to know how to write in cursive to sign important documents, to sign the back of a credit card, so on and so forth. And so without these skills, what the kids gonna do? Right. So I was at a comedy show last night, and they were talking about the IEP, right? And so somebody who was in the audience was going back and forth, and then the comedian said, well, you do know that learning starts at home. And she was so right. I mean, we have to take accountability and responsibility for our own children. So we can't expect to send them to school and then, the teacher called and say that they're not doing this, and now you got most parents, trying to challenge the teacher or fight the teacher when your kid is causing havoc in the class. So try to make sure that you can teach your kids something, or see what it is that they're struggling with, to try to get them help, because you figure there's one teacher to about 15, 16 kids in the class. Teachers can only do so much. So at some point, again, like I said, you have to take responsibility and make sure your kid is getting whatever he or she needs to pass the grade without going back and forth with the teacher. My son get out of school every day. I ask him how his day was, how's school going, how's his classes, anything he's struggling with. What is it that I can do to help him help himself? And so at one point when he first started, he was struggling in a particular class. So, before I stepped in, I taught him how to advocate for himself. Okay, if you're not understanding, before I get involved, are you talking to the teacher? Are you letting the teacher know that you don't understand? Are you having that conversation? Are you asking for extra credit? Like, what are you doing for you? And so needless to say, I didn't have to step in, because he understood what he needed to do to advocate for himself. I'm not going to always be around. Parents, we're not going to always have to be around. So you want to teach your kids. And so I got this really cool course, not even a course, like an activity for the kids. Like, I got about 4 or 5 twin air beds, right? And so most kids don't make their bed up. And if your kids make your bed up, kudos to you. Most kids don't do it, right? So kids like to compete. So I'm going to do something competitive, to whereas I'll time the kids. The one that make the bed up the fastest will win, I don't know, a prize, or whatever it is that we come up with. And so, again, I'm instilling in these kids' head the importance of making bed up. And so now, after so many sessions of doing this, I would like to think that they'll go home and possibly make the bed up, right? So if you feed the mind, the body will follow, right? So I'm always looking for things. I'm always looking for mentors and help. You know what I'm saying? We need help with these kids. I can't do it myself. You know, so often people say, oh, women can't raise men. And I agree, we can't. However, if the men aren't stepping up when we call for help, then what are we supposed to do? And so that's where I'm at most of the time. I put out there, I need male mentors. I need you guys to come in and be transparent, whatever it is that you, whatever life skill or skills you got that you can come in and teach the kids. I welcome you with open arms. Everybody, oh, I'll do it. But then when it's time to show up, people don't always show up. So that's why I always say heavenly sent, because when I go out for the people, they are heavenly sent. Everybody that I bring on my show is definitely heavenly sent, because I see something in them that, you know, I see something, I see greatness in them, let me say that. And so I appreciate everybody that support us. Like I said, we're always looking for help. We're always looking to add to the programming. I can't do it by myself. However, if I don't get help, I still got to do it, because remember I told you the driving force was my son. And so I have to continuously show him the way, how to do things, and how to conduct themselves. And so I would love to have more male mentors. I will be reaching out to some of the guys. Again, Douglas Park Library this Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. This will be targeted towards the young men, and possibly in the future I'll do something for the young women. But right now, this is for the young men. And I look forward to having your kids involved. I got about 10 boys that already signed up. And so between today and Saturday, I will be canvassing the neighborhood, letting the neighbors know that I am bringing this program to the library to sign their kids up. They can come in and sit in to see what it is we offer. I've partnered with so many different organizations, but I won't reveal that now because I don't want you guys to be coming just because of the names that I put out there. So I won't reveal that. The kids that will be a part will be recipients of all these things that are to come. Every day I'm getting calls. I just got a call the other day asking if I had some kids that wanted to go to a free wrestling show that's going to be at the Wintrust Arena. This stuff costs, but because of my faithfulness and the work that I'm doing, I have people that want to volunteer and donate and give me these things because, you know, the kids need it. We don't always have, you know, the cash flow or the monetary avenues to be able to do things. So I'm so appreciative of all the people that see fit to call me and offer me things to, whereas I can enlighten these kids. So with that being said, I mentioned Toys for Tots, and they were supposed to be my guests, but they had a meeting that I'm going to right after this. So they are having a 46th Chicago Motorcycle Parade, December the 3rd. I am going there. I will be the mascot. I'm excited about that. Putting on that mascot just brings so many faces to kids and even adults. You know, I'm able to be somebody else when I'm with that mascot. I'm able to put smiles on these kids' faces and adults' faces. And so I appreciate that. You guys, I will be at the parade Sunday, December 3rd, and I'll be looking for volunteers to come and help me help them. Again, if you don't help, you don't get. If you don't help, you don't get. Don't always be wanting to wanting to get and not receive. So with that being said, I appreciate my support system, my mom, my cousin, my grandmother for just being so supportive of me. Of course, thank KNTV for allowing me this platform. And of course, I thank God for being ahead of my life, because without him, I am nobody. And so with that being said, I will see you guys next Monday, same time. And yeah, that's it. And so I should be able to tell you how cool the male mentoring program went at the library. So with that being said, see you guys again Monday, same time, same place. Peace out.